understand what love truly is from God's perspective. Well, today we're going to talk about it from friendship. He uses the example of friendship. And he throws all these examples at us, right? All these words to help us understand exactly where he should be in our life, what he should represent. Because if he just leaves it up to us, we got stuff all over the place, right? People give you stuff, you put this over there and this over there. You know, you can go to somebody else and that don't go right there. That ain't what that's used for. You know, we always grabbing stuff that's not what it was designed to do, but it'll work, right? It'll get the job done. And we do that things with life all the time. We put certain people in slots in our lives that they shouldn't be in. We treat our kids a certain way that they shouldn't necessarily be in that role. And, you know, we have stuff slotted wrong. So he is really helping us to understand here is where I belong in your life. And here's some examples I'm going to give you to help you along the way. And so we're going to look at this from friendship. I want you to turn in your Bibles to John 15. John 15. And we're going to look at verses 12 through 17 to really understand this a little bit clearer, okay? He says, my command is this: love each other as I have loved you, okay? Love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down his life for one's friend. Okay, he uses the word friend. He says, you are my friend, just in case you didn't understand it. You are my friend if, big word, if you do what I command. Okay, if you do what I command. And 15 says, I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you. Okay? In 16, he says, you did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit that will last. And so that whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. Wow. This is my command. Love each other. Okay, so let's go through this just a little bit more. So he's talking to the disciples, and this is one of his last conversations with the disciples before he's crucified in John 15. He's just washed their feet, and they, had this dialogue. He's told Peter what he's going to do, told Judas about himself, and all this is happening. Now here we are. This comes right after when he talks about I am the vine, you are the branches, right? So he's really talking to them, but if you see, it really goes out to everyone, because he says, if you do my commands, then you are my friend. So he's telling them, I have given you something, right? I've trusted you with something. And if you use what I have trusted you with, right, because that's what he commanded us to love. Now, a lot of times we want to go through all the different things and, I got to do this, I got to do this. He said love. He said, these things are my commands. This is what I want you to do, is to love. And if we're doing that, then we can be friends with the Lord. Notice he says you're no longer servants, because the servant don't know what's going on. When you're a servant, you don't know the business. You don't know what's happening in the office. You don't know what they talking about. You just know to bring stuff and do stuff, and okay, I got a job to do. Now, you might overhear stuff, and that's how rumors get started, or you saw this person come in, and I saw him there yesterday. You got some information because of what you're seeing, that you're around things, right? And we can always see and deduce stuff just from what we see. But when you're brought into the fold, now you're a friend, because I'm giving to you what was given to me. I'm trusting you with this information. What am I trusting you with? That you will do right by what I'm giving you. That you will use what I'm giving you in order to go and love others, because that's what I do. So you're my friend when you do what I command, meaning that you're becoming more like me. You're following the example that I have put out there so that you can put these things into practice. Okay? So he's establishing this. Let's go to Hebrews 13 and 5. Hebrews 13 and 5. He talks about his friendship a little bit more closely. He said, keep your lives free from the love of money. We're going to come back to this one too. And be content with what you have. Okay? Why? Because God has said, I will never leave you, never will I forsake you. Very key verse. Notice when we go to John 15, he says, I chose you. I chose you. Now, this is very important because to be chosen, to be picked, to be selected, to be one of, right? Friendship is different than family. You don't choose family. Family is given to you. You're born in the family. This is my family. This is what I got. Now, you look around your family. I want y'all to think about your family. You got some over here. You got some in the middle. And you got some that you real tight with. Now, the ones you real tight with, y'all hang out. And y'all can be more friends, right? The ones in the middle, you see them at a lot of functions. You don't talk to them every day. You don't talk to them all the time. In fact, the only time you really talk to them is when y'all have something. Now, when you have something, you super happy to hear them. Y'all catch up. Y'all enjoy each other's company. But y'all just don't have that kind of bond. And nothing wrong with that. Maybe it's an age thing. Maybe it's just a group thing. Or maybe y'all just missed each other along the way. But you love each other, right? Y'all get together. Y'all have a great time. But it's mainly at events. And then you got the ones over here. The ones over here are the ones in the middle and the ones you close to. Anytime that one over here come in, hey, y'all, everybody go, oh. Hey! Now, the ones that's over here, when they come to the event, usually what happens is they show up real late and they leave real early, right? They don't stay long. But when they leave, they got all your food. I'm going to see y'all next time. It's like, God, dog, where you got all that from? And everybody know. You don't even see them at every event. You see them you don't even know how they found out. Because you ain't tell them. Did you tell them? I ain't tell them. I don't know. I ain't tell them. He found out somewhere. But that's your family. Now, you love the ones in the middle. You love the ones on the end. And you love the ones you're close to. You love them all because it's your family. But let's be honest. If you had a choice, who would you choose? Of course you're going to choose the one you're close to. Y'all been all through it. Y'all grew up together, right? You know, all types of stuff. The ones in the middle, of course you're going to choose them. It just, you might not be chit-chatty, but every now and then y'all go out. You can do things to hang out. But would you really choose? Would you really choose this person? The one that you get calls on, he needs some little help. All these bad decisions he made. You wouldn't choose that. But that's your family, so of course you're going to help out because it's family. But it's something about a choice. That means when I choose you, I see something in you that I want around me. See, that's what a friend is. A friend is someone you want around you, that you want to hang out with, that y'all explore things together, that you can talk to, that you can trust, that you can build something with, right? Because that's what a friendship is. It's a bond. You walk in on best friends talking. As soon as you sit down, what y'all laughing about? Oh, man. You ain't in the group, right? I can't fill you in. And then you feel left out, but they really not leaving you out. It's just whatever they talking about got so much history to it that by the time they fill you in and get you up to speed, you don't know all the details, and they trying to, and sometimes they'll try to get you there, but you just like, I don't know. It ain't for you. Don't be offended. It's okay. But that's your bond, and you love having that bond. And that's what Jesus said. I have you as friends. Why? Because I'm sharing my heart to you. I'm pouring out information to you. I'm giving you something that is so core to me as the creator of everything. I'm giving you this special thing so that you can have a relationship with my Father, who I truly, truly love. The same way that I have this relationship, I want you to have that same relationship with him. But you can't have that relationship unless I give you background. See, that's what friendship is, okay? Y'all got to understand friendship. Friendship ain't just hanging out and enjoying each other's company, because you can do that. You can go to a work event and not know nobody. And by the time it's over, you hooked up with somebody just to kind of pass the time and have a great time. That person's really cool. We had a good time over there at the table just talking and catching up. And then you say, we're going to go hang out. Let's hang out. Okay, and then you go hang out. You're like, oh, no. That ain't the same person, or you different outside of, but we had a good time. But that's not your friend. Your friend is someone that you are willing to give context to and background to yourself. What's wrong? My mama's acting up. Well, what's wrong with your mama? And you give them all the history and the relationship with your mama and how troubled it was and some things that was going on. Intimate details that you don't share with everybody. You're giving to this person. Why? So they can help you. So they can talk to you. So that when you're crying, they understand why. They know what's going on. You ever walk in on somebody who may be going through and you care about this individual, right? What's wrong? And they best friend in there, oh, they'll be okay. The best friend has all the history, right? You just know they hurting and you want to comfort, but the best friend said, nah, just let it be. Because they know what she's going through. They know what he's going through, and they know they just need a minute. They your bodyguard almost, protecting what is there because of the bond that y'all have, okay? Friendship. Friendship is built on trust and is chosen versus given, okay? You choose your friends, and God said, I have chose you. There's a hymn, and I will not sing it because them notes will be, what a friend we have in Jesus, right? Y'all know the song. I ain't gonna sing it. No, God Almighty, no. You would walk out of here. What did he talk about? I don't know, but he sure did some things. Something about a friend. I know that's the song he chose, but he ruined the lesson for me. So, nah. But the hymn goes, what a friend we have in Jesus, right? All our sins and grief to bear, right? So we give that. And it says, what a privilege to carry what? Everything to God in prayer. Okay, so this was written by an individual who was going through a lot of pain, all right? So Joseph Scriven is his name, and he had lost 2 fiancées to tragic death, and he was going through losing his mother. He didn't have the money to go and see him. But he said, and when he sat and wrote, what a friend that I can take all this to him. Now, he could have said Savior. He could have said Father. He could have used one of the many names that we use for our Lord. But he chose the word friend because that's what he needed. He needed a friend. And many of us with our kids, don't get it through. I ain't one of your little friends. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes your kid may need a friend more than they need a mama. May need a friend more than they need a father. And you need to be able to play that role sometimes. Just to let them talk. No, don't get all mad and huffy-puffy, but just listen to what they're going through so that you can advise them, because otherwise they're going to go find somebody else who ain't lived life and don't got nothing to share, right? Because I don't know about your kids, but the people my kids hang around as friends are their age. Ain't no grown people calling the house, can I speak to, who is this, right? First of all, so I got the experience. They just need to get it. But they're not going to get it if the only thing I'm doing is huffing and puffing daddy, right? They need to hear, okay, I can go into this mode too. Now, when I need to transform, I can transform. But we can be friends right now so I can make sure you got somebody to talk to. Because otherwise you go talk to them and they know about as much as you do or less. So we have to be able to do that, to build, keyword, build friendship. Friendship is a relationship built on what? Trust. God has trusted us, Jesus has trusted us with information and to do right by the information that was given. Now, when we look at John 15 and 15, let's go there again. John 15 and 15. When we look at John 15 and 15, go one more there. Okay, sorry, I jumped you. It says that I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. For everything that I learned, okay, or that was given to me from my Father, I have made known to you. Now it's on you to use this, to use it for the benefit of you and others, because it said love each other, right? So I want you to use the information that was given. But in order to do that, you and I got to have a healthy relationship, okay? That's what Jesus lets us know. We're friends. Friends have to maintain a healthy relationship, and that relationship is built on trust, because now if you do these things, you will get fruit that will not go away, fruit that will last, fruit that will be beneficial to you and to those around you if you put these things into practice, okay, based on the relationship that we have. Now, I want to go back to that word build, because when we're building a friendship, when you find someone who's worth investing in, any relationship doesn't always, should start with friendship, okay? Even that of a husband and wife should start with friendship, because you're building something. Now, if it blossoms and grows into marriage, awesome. But it should start as friendship. That's how you build. And that's how you start your relationship with everyone, right? With friendship. Because friendship starts with what we said, trust. I got to trust you. If I can't trust you, we can't be friends. Now, you can call yourself my friend. And how many of y'all been in a situation like that? Somebody introduce you, oh, this such and such. This is my best friend. And you standing there like, yeah, best friend. Well, you thought I was your best friend. That's what your mind's saying. Oh, we cool, but best friend. What's going on in your life? Did you think we best friends? We ain't no best friends. My best friends, you ain't in that, right? We see that all the time. Because what is a friend? A friend is someone who I can go to. A friend is someone who I can depend on, who I can lean on. All these things that we can put on being a friend and what it means. Knowing that Jesus holds all that, right? More so than any person. But it takes a build-up, and he has to instill in us those things and see us practice those things so he can call us friend. Okay? Friend. Now, when we go to building, many times we put things in the wrong place. We talked about this. We build on the wrong land. We put things in places that it shouldn't be. You know, sometimes the foundation starts to crack. Why? Because you built on the wrong thing. You got a sinkhole under there you didn't see. You shouldn't have built here. It wasn't zoned for that type of building. It was zoned for this. You can have all this over here that you want, but you built your home right here. Yeah, maybe not a good place to build it. Go to Matthew 7. Matthew 7, 24 through 27, and we know this verse all too well. This is the wrap-up of the Sermon on the Mount, really, okay? When he gave us all the instructions on relationship during the Sermon on the Mount, on how we should respect him and how we should treat others. You know, don't judge and all the other things that come from the Sermon on the Mount that we teach from quite a bit. But when we look at this, he's talking about building a house. He's talking about building a house. And he says, therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice, remember we talked about that, right, is like a wise man. Somebody with wisdom, somebody with experience, somebody who's using that experience for the benefit of himself and others, who built his house on a rock. Solid foundation, right? The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew. And they beat against that house. So even though this is a wise man, and he built this house on something strong, the winds and the rain and all that stuff still came. Nothing different, right? Because it had its foundation on the rock, it did not fall, okay? Because all that stuff beat up on that house. Next verse says, but everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. And it says the rain came down, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat against that house as well. The same rain, the same wind, the same streams. And it fell. It didn't fall easy. It fell with a great crash. Now, when we look at this scripture, sand do what it's supposed to do. The rock did what it was supposed to do. So it wasn't the fault of the rock or the sand. The house did what it was supposed to do. Either it stood or it fell based upon what was underneath it. Okay? The wind did what it was supposed to do. The rain did what it was supposed to do. and the streams did what they were supposed to do. Meaning life is going to be life for everybody. No matter what you got, no matter how rich you are, no matter how great you may feel, that wind coming, the rain coming, and the streams are rising for everybody. Okay? Now, the only differentiating factor is where you put your stuff. The stuff that you value. See, you got a house, but you may have other places that you go and visit. He didn't say you couldn't go and leave the house, but this is where all your valuable stuff is. I left my wallet at home. All that paperwork that you need at home. I need to go change clothes at home. Everything I value is at home. My family is at home. Okay. So I got to build on something that's going to keep us protected, keep us sheltered, and that we can trust that's going to be here when the stuff we know that's coming comes, because it's coming, right? So we got all that. Y'all with me? Of course you are. The problem is the rock we know is God. But what's the saying? Because we read this verse all the time. Well, what's the saying? Well, the saying could be a few things, but really it comes down to two. And you could argue three, but really two. Money and people. Then you can say, well, things too, because I value this, that, and the other, but the way you got the things was usually through money, right? So money and people is usually what we try to build on. Money and people do what they're supposed to do. They wash away. Why do they wash away? Life. I got plenty of people who I look back in my past, I never thought they'd be gone. I don't know where they at now. They're not bad people. They're great people. Probably still great people. We just don't talk. I can't build on that. They gone. They did what they were supposed to do. Many of us are in these same situations. Why? Because we make relationships and we hold on to them, but then we start growing. See, you go through different stages in life. You start out, regardless of where you at in life and how much money you got in a sense, but you start out in survival mode. Everybody does. What is survival mode? Survival mode is trying to figure out your way, where you need to be. And usually in survival mode is in your late teens, early 20s, okay? That's when you're sleeping on couches and going out and just, the world is world. You know, we figuring it all out. We're in survival mode. Either you ain't got no money or you need money or you don't have a job and you need a job or you're driving a raggedy car. You know, back then driving a raggedy car was cool. You know, I worked on my car more than I drove the car. You know, every time you stop, you had to do something, man. Take that battery plug off and get back. We ain't going to be able to go nowhere, you know. You ain't care about how you look. Now you're older. You're embarrassed if you got to do all that type of stuff, right? But back then, everybody, man, you got a car? Woo, okay. We riding in this. Well, that door don't work. That door, so people crawling in. It don't matter. They just want to go, right? We in survival mode together. But then you start growing up. You get things. The more, give you a secret to let you know what mode you're in. The higher you go up the food chain in your life, right? Not the world, not how society has it, but in your life, depends on how far out you can look. You will know how successful you are in your life depending on how far you can look. When you're in survival mode, you look into tomorrow, all right? You know the exact day when rent's due. You know when the check going to be there. You know when the bills due because you know this check got to come because this going to come and I got to make sure. You know all the stuff when you go on overdraft and they charge that $33. You know how much time you got to get some money to kind of, okay, let me talk to, okay, well, I got it if you can, you know all this stuff. You in survival mode because you're looking week to week, day to day, right? And it's okay. It's a process. But then when you start looking out 2 years, 3 years, restructuring your mortgage, I'm going to get down to 15, that'll get me out of here quicker. You looking ahead, I'm going to buy this car, but when you want me to pay it off? No, I don't want that one. You ain't looking at just, ooh, this is nice. It's nice, but I got to look ahead. You're in a different mode. The thing is, friends do the same way. When you're in a group of friends and all y'all looking day to day, y'all need each other. Because I need $10. I need this. You know, now when you need $10, you just kind of go, man, let me get $10. And you expect the person to give it to you. You don't really expect them to ask it back. It's just $10. But when you're in survival, man, hey, man, that $10 I gave you, you got that? Oh, man, I'm sorry. Oh, about to get me over this, you know, $2 or whatever I got. I just wanted some chips. But okay, here we go. They coming at you. You're in different modes. And that's okay. But it lets you know you really have to be in light thinking to be around your friends, right? When you're all in survival mode, you're in this together. But as you get married, things change. You get kids, things change. And the relationship change. And they don't really stay around, and that's okay. But they do what they're supposed to do. You have people in your life for different phases in your life. But here is the key to all of this. We, as people, and this is all this buildup is for right here. We build on things that we shouldn't. We build on people, and we put people where God should be. We put people where God should be on a consistent basis. And then we get mad when people do what people do. People wash away. And it's okay. That's what I want you to understand. It's okay that they wash away. Sometimes it's natural for your growth for people to wash away. And when they come back, sometimes maybe they come back better. Maybe they don't. And when you see them, there's no disgust. It's just is what it is. We still good. We still cool. But you washed away out of my life very naturally. We didn't have an argument. I didn't throw something at the back of your head as you were leaving. It just, the conversations got less and less over time. And you washed away. And may God bless you as you go on your endeavors. Even though we're not talking all the time, I still care about you. And that's okay. But God is the rock that we have. So when the people wash away, we start to crumble. Why do we crumble? Because when you build on something, you trust that when you put something valuable on top of it, that it's going to be structurally sound and not wash away. When I build on a rock, that rock ain't going nowhere. Stone Mountain been there a long time. Right? It ain't going nowhere. But you can go walk around the city and just see how much the land done changed and it just looks different, right? You see a flood come through a town and they show you those two pictures. Like, golly, look at all that stuff just gone. It's built on dirt. Dirt changes, okay? So when we look at this, and I want you to understand it, how do you build on people and not on God? Well, let's break it down a little bit more. The way we build on them is we put them in places that God should be in our life. We say this person ain't going to never leave me or forsake me. God said he'll do that. That person going to go. That person I can put all my trust in, they ain't going to never lie on me. And they do. That person who I love so much is always going to be there. They're never going to judge me. And they do. That person always going to be there for me. And they don't. That person will always, I know this person. That is my person. That's the one who I hang with. They got my back. And they don't. They got my best interest in mind. And they don't. They going to uplift my marriage because they care about me. They were in my wedding. No, they don't. All these things that we trust the person to do, we should be trusting God to do. We say that we trust God to do it, but we really don't. Because why? At some point in your life, I want y'all to really hear this. At some point in your life, friends go from being a necessity to being a nice to have. Friends, when you're young, you got to have friends because you got to have somebody to go drink with. You got to have somebody to go hang out in the club with. You ever see somebody go to the club by themselves? I've been there. It's a lonely night, boy. It ain't nothing fun about going to the club by you sitting at the table. Like, man, folks just done took all your chairs. You sitting, anybody saying? No. Every time you say no, it just eat you up a little bit. I wish somebody would. Oh, you gonna sit here? No, I just want this chair. And you sitting here at a big old table with no chairs by yourself, eating some wings. Like, I need to go to the house. It's just sad, sad, sad. I'm looking at all these people laughing and they ain't got nobody to talk to and pretending like I'm doing something. Pick up your phone, ain't nobody. Yeah. Ain't talking to nobody. All by yourself. We do that. But you need friends to make it fun. It ain't fun by yourself, right? You don't want to go bowling by yourself unless you practicing, right? It's okay to practice, but when you going like, I got that one. Nobody looking. Y'all over here, y'all don't care about me. We have to have friends around because we're doing so much. We're active. And you need people to be active. And you need money. And you need food, and you sometimes need a place to stay, and you got to have your family getting tired of you, because you might be the one over here you don't, you don't know. So, you can't keep begging the same. You need people. You need partners. But then you start getting a little money. Start getting a little success. Start getting into your relationship with your significant other. You got your kids, and kids come with busyness, right? Kids keep you whipped. You ain't got time. Well, we should go hang out. Yeah, that'll be nice. And then you think, what you doing Saturday? No, soccer and this and that. What you doing? You can come over here. I don't want to come over there on them kids, right? That's the way they think. So y'all don't really hook up like you used to. It just happens. But then they just become kind of, it's good to talk to them. But do you need them as much as you used to? Not really. It's kind of a nice to have, right? Now, some of them are really good nice to have, but let's be honest with each other. We're really being honest. The problem is we have a lot of times got a little success, start feeling good about ourselves, right? We got this, going to work, kind of got a rhythm going. Money come in when it's supposed to come in. Money go out when it's supposed to go out. I can go get when I want to get. I can go do when I want to do. Everybody happy. Everybody look at me as this. I'm feeling good, looking good. Everything is established, and we just trucking along like we should be. Life is just a smooth. God, I think he's a nice to have. I don't need God. I don't have to have God. Now, back then I needed, because I was hurting. I was, but you know what? That relationship, I don't got all that out of my life. I'm good now. And God got you there. But now he has become a nice to have. Because, see, you don't go to the club no more. You don't go hang out no more. You don't do all that stuff. So I don't need nobody. In fact, my life is so busy, I'm just moving along. I talk to my friends every 3 or 4 weeks just to catch up, make sure we keep the connection. But we ain't hanging. We ain't doing all this stuff. We don't have to do game night like we used to. You see what I'm saying? And those relationships get, right? And we do God the same way. And all of a sudden we get further and further and further. And then when something happens, we want to run. Lord, I need you to do. Who are you? We ain't like we used to be. And it ain't my fault. God said, I've been here the whole time. But you decided to go build on them people. And what happened to them people? Whoosh. They washed away. The rain came. They said, man, that's too much for me. The wind came. You got too much drama in your life. The stream started rising. Woo, got to my ankles. I ain't messing up these good shoes. Girl, I'm going to see you later. Know how women run side. Well, ooh. I don't know why y'all do that, but y'all do it. Hey, you better take them off and get it a 2-point stance and get somewhere. That dog gonna get you. We have to make sure no matter what activity you got going on in your life, God is in it with you. We allow the activity to dictate the friendship. When we out here and we want to go out here, that's one group of friends. When we want to go over here, that's another group of friends. But them friends that you go out with, you dare don't invite them to the Bible study. I need to start me a Bible study. But I ain't going to invite her. Why? Because I don't know what she might say. Or she might give a little bit too information about me. Right? So we're going to leave them over there. But we're going to have this little peer group over here. We're going to do our little Bible study and eat our little sandwiches. Go on and bring her and bring some fried chicken and let her do her thing. She might need it too. So, people do what people do. The thing about God, if you keep him involved in your life, if you don't let where you are in your life dictate your relationship with God, God says, I will never leave you or forsake you, period. And that is a beautiful thing because people leave and forsake people every day. When you change jobs, that person that you talked to for 15 years, every day, went to lunch with every day, hung out with every day, talked and went to snacks and had y'all own routine. You would show up and they'd be like, oh, I knew you was coming, so I already got it for you. You'd be like, oh, thank you. They know you, you know them, y'all tight. Then you come one day, I got another job. What? Where you going? I'm going to go over here across town. I'm going to make sure I call you. And now don't talk like you used to. Why not? Something changed. Got married, something changed. Had kids, something changed. You went to school, something changed. You moved, something changed. Any variable shows how fragile the relationship is. The relationships that are the strongest go throughout all the change and the bond stays tight. The relationships that are the weakest, any little change, small crack, they gone. Why? Because it's not always bad. Here's how we're going to wrap up. I want you to see how fragile your relationship is with people. When we look at the streams rising and the wind blowing, right, and the rain coming, we see that as a bad thing. It's not. He didn't say that it was a bad thing. It was a natural thing. Rain is a good thing. And if it rains on sand, what is sand going to do? It's going to wash away. If we didn't have rain to wash away, it wouldn't wash away impurities and different things out. Streams are supposed to rise. Wind is supposed to blow. All these things are supposed to happen. These aren't bad things that people are running from. They run when it becomes inopportune or a challenge for them to do it. You, thinking that y'all friendship was so tight, you're really a friend out of convenience. The person is thinking, and you may be thinking the same way, we both got to work here anyway. We both here for 8 hours anyway. Might as well talk to you. Now, they ain't that mean, but that's just really what it is. Because why in the world, when you move to go to this job and they're at this job, y'all both in the same vicinity, right? You can still be downtown. But now you got to meet up somewhere for lunch. That's too much work for them. So it's too much work for you to go and drive a little bit further to come see me. Yeah. They wouldn't say that, but it's true. And you know it's true. And it's the same thing for you. It's too much work. I got married and got kids. That's too much work. I got to work harder to talk to you. I can't just pick up the phone and call you and you call me right back because you're so busy. I ain't got time to be waiting on you. You didn't text me back fast enough. You ain't there like you used to be. Things done change. It shows you that any little change in this sunshine weather, soon as the rain comes, they got to, ooh, I got to go. It's rained. I still never understand it. Me and Adrian went out yesterday, and she like, it raining out there? You know, it was badly. It was raining, but it was just like fog rain. You know, like you go out there, like a little water on my hand. And she go, ooh. I'm moist, but I ain't wet. Like, but it's. That's what people gonna do. It look like it's gonna do something. You look like you thinking about changing up y'all relationship. I got to go. It ain't comfortable for me no more. People wash away. God never does. Stop putting people where God belongs in your life. God says, I am the rock. Go visit with them people. Go to the beach and enjoy the sand, but no, it ain't going to be there when you get there tomorrow. It's okay. Go out there and have fun in the sand. Build you a sand castle. No, it ain't going to be there forever. Play in the sand. Dig a hole. Bury yourself. Have all the fun you want. Sand is fun. Rocks are not as fun as sand. Just the truth. People are fun. They're enjoyable. Rock is foundationally strong. You can have fun on the rock. So when you go get the sand of your people and bring them back to the rock, guess what? They stay there too. Because they can't wash away because they on the rock with you. So instead of going to the sand to build your house, why don't you bring the sand back on the rock in the house where it won't wash away and show them how to build their house on the rock. Now y'all standing by each other on the rock, and guess what? The rock don't change, so you know they going to be there, and you know you going to be there, and y'all can both enjoy the success of the Lord.